Well, time now for Focus 50 Plus, and this morning we're talking about professional and personal development at 50 and why that's important for our future. And Dr. George Schofield joins us. So how do we know we're aging at 50?
Well, there are the obvious things: gray hair, no hair. You look down, and I have places where I didn't used to have places.
Yes.
But what really is the primary indicator of aging is we begin to shed roles. Our children go away, so we're no longer custodial parents. We know a whole lot about a whole lot of things. But the fact is, we change our employment, we begin to change spouses,
Right.
we move. There are a whole lot of things that go on at 50 that indicate shift.
Lots of things working that way, and so what do we need to begin learning at 50 that we don't already know?
Well, the great shock to most of us is what we were great at 35 or great at 40 isn't necessarily going to serve us well at 60 or 70. The time to start learning the different things we need to do around identity,
Right.
around preferences, around how we're going to make decisions later in our lives.
Sure.
A lot of that begins around 50.
So what are these possible obstacles to paying attention? I mean, you want to, but a lot of things going on.
The major obstacle, to tell you the truth, is inertia. We're not in enough pain. So you had a 16-year-old who kept going, "Oh, Mom, oh, Dad,
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I know what I need to know. Leave me alone." That recurs at 50. In fact, I'm amazed at how in what parallel flight I am to my 16-year-old granddaughter, who's really in the process of figuring out what she's going to do next and who
Right.
she wants to be. Same thing for a lot of us around 50.
I see. So how does paying attention and learning right now lead to that quality of life later, perhaps in a decade or more?
Well, we have a choice to make. And the choice is, do we want to begin to anticipate the things we'll have to be good at? Being someone other than who we are now. Learning to be alone more.
Yeah.
Working, not working. I have a friend who just retired from the Navy in his early 50s who was depressed for the first time in his life because he didn't have the structure. So there are lots of things for us to begin to practice that are going to be good for us later in life, and we have the choice. Do we begin to practice it now occasionally, or do we wait until we're under the gun in our 70s and have to adapt and learn on the spot?
Lots of great information, and you can get more information by going to Dr. George Schofield. That's georgeschofield.com, and that number right there you can dial for more information. And George, we will see you right back here next week, and
You
we're
will.
going to continue
Yes,
on
we're
with
going to
this.
talk about specific skills next week.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here
Thank you. Nice
this
to see
week.
you.
That's right, and we will have more news ahead.